My name is Kala, Arvind Kala. I'm in my ancestral village in Uttarakhand, and yesterday I got a glimpse of how the caste system is embedded in the Hindu mind. Yesterday I had called a village electrician, a fellow Brahmin, to fix some lights. He did so, and then after that I asked him if there was a plumber in the village that I could call. So he said, "Would you be okay with a plumber from below?" What he meant was that below meant Dalit Basti, Harijan Basti, adjacent to a village where the Brahmins don't go and the Dalits don't come to the Brahmin part of it. I said, of course, that's not a problem. So that is how embedded it is. Can you imagine me, a city guy? The guy knows it, and he's asking me if I'd be okay with a Dalit plumber fixing my Brahmin toilet seat. This is the reality of India, and we have right now. There's a Ramlila playing. It's a very big event in my village of 200 people, and Harijan, a Dalit, cannot become a part of the audience. He's not allowed in. He won't even try to come in. It's been there for centuries, or God knows decades, or whatever it is. So that is what it is. I mean, I've come to my village 33, 35 times, but I'm ashamed to say I've never been to the Dalit settlement. I should go there. I don't even know where it is. I know there's a road which leads there. That is how cut off the Dalits are from the Brahmins, and the Brahmins are cut off from the Dalits. There's no discrimination, nothing. We have a village spring, which has been there for 100 years, a mountain spring, and it comes in, it collects in a pool of water in the Brahmin part of it. The Harijans cannot access water from there. They have a separate pipe getting water from the same spring where they access the water. So that is the segregation. There's no social discrimination or anything like that. People are very gentle and all that. But there are one or two love marriages which have also taken place. Harijan boy and Brahmin girl, or Brahmin boy, or the other way, whatever it is. But they've been just one or two, and they've not been discriminated against. Now I'll switch to another part of. I'll tell you about the caste system in Manali. You see, me and my wife, we spend around 5 months in Manali every year, and there the caste system in many ways is much more rigorous. Manali is sort of, though is backward, is as hidebound as my village Somadi in Uttarakhand, but the village Manali village has only Thakurs. Only Thakurs. They also have a Dalit settlement there adjacent to the village. And in the course of Manali is a bit of an international place with Israeli tourists, rich Indians also coming, long sleek cars coming, etc., etc. So there been 5, 7 intercaste marriages, meaning Dalit girl marrying a Thakur boy, or a Thakur girl marrying a Dalit boy. There the discrimination is extreme. It is totally non-violent. What happens is that the Thakur who marries the Harijan, he becomes a total outcast in his village. Not even in his village, in his family, with his brother and sister and mother and father. He can't enter the home. He's not invited for a meal. Nobody sits down with him for a cup of tea. So he finds that he's in the middle of a crowd. He knows everybody because he's grown up with them. But because he made that fatal mistake of marrying a Harijan, he's just what do you call, boycotted forever. It's a social boycott. A social boycott is even tougher than an economic boycott, because wherever you've grown up and go, you find that nobody recognizes you. They don't want to sit with you. You can't sit with them. You can't chat to them because they're not interested in chatting with you. And that includes siblings. Can you believe it? My sister or my brother marries a Dalit, and I don't talk to him or her, or vice versa. This is the reality of the caste system. 5, 7 marriages, never. It is just understood. Nobody says anything that this is what you should do. If at that very moment, that child, that girl or boy who's married outside the caste becomes becomes what you call ceases to exist. That's all. Ceases to exist for the family and for the village. So he's finished in that place. You know, the Harijan family, that the Thakur boy as well, is more accepting of him. They accept him, but the Thakurs don't. And they even more hidebound than the Brahmins of Garhwal, like this. Now, you know, people say, I'm talking of these two villages. Why in places like Punjab, they have a rigorous caste system in practice. Muslims, even Christians know, they're aware of that, they don't talk of it. You know, in a Sikh village, there'll be three temples. One temple of the Jat Sikhs, one temple of the Mazbis, who are the Dalits, and one of the Ramgadiyas. I know Ramgadiyas are maybe carpenters or something. I could be wrong, but one of those subordinate castes, you know, OBCs like that. So everywhere there's the caste system. And does it only exist in India? No, my friends. Japan has an extremely low caste called Burakumin. You know, their numbers are 1 to 3 million and they still face social discrimination. And what professions are they in? Killing animals for food, etc., etc. You know, professions which are considered unclean or cruel or whatever it is. Bureaucramen, but they still face social discrimination. You know, that's the and who are the Brahmins of Japan? They're the samurai. I remember even in educated caste, I mean 50 years ago, I had gone with a friend to an uncle's farm in Dehradun. My uncle was a brigadier, was a retired brigadier who had passed out from Sandhurst. Mind you, Sandhurst, that's the place that Prince Charles and all go to even today. So, you know, I had become a journalist and my friend had become a banker. So my brigadier uncle talked to him. What are you? What caste are you? Yeah, he said I'm becoming a banker, and I'm a Jat. So my uncle asked him, how come you're becoming a banker if you're a Jat? Meaning it was inconceivable to him. Now I'm talking of 50 years ago, and that time he must have been 70 or maybe 65. So this is how the caste system is embedded in India. In India, everywhere. I mean, look at that. Look at the Dalit movement. Ambedkar, when he converted people to Buddhism, they were all Dalits. They were wanted to escape the caste system. You know, people with names like Satnami, etc., etc. They all. But it's impossible to escape the caste system. For instance, what happens, you know, how it reveals itself, caste, is at the time of marriage. A boy falls in love with a girl or something. The boy says he's what do you call, a Rajput, a Brahmin, an OBC, whatever it is. Then the girl's family goes and checks, you know, who this thing, the boy's brother, the boy's sister, boy's uncles, and they find out, you know, in the course of those arranged marriages, both families find out about the other family. So this kind of thing, and when will the caste system go disappear? I don't know. It'll take eons, I guess. You know, as countries. I mean, America has only 2% of its population in villages or something. Some ridiculous wrong. So once you know, once everybody moves to cities, and cities with the anonymity, caste will gradually fade as it has been fading. But right now, it's quite a reality. Yeah, it's quite a reality. So well, uh, I think I've said enough. Please, my friends, if you like my video, please forward it to everybody. You know, it's a damn good video. Yeah, you see other crap on, see me and gain some knowledge. All right. So I'll bid you farewell. See you later, alligator.